Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Dr. Stone. We're on season 3, episode 18, which is called Flicker of Doom. I don't like that. I don't like the sound of that at all, actually. Considering that we're in a very tense spot, that does not sound encouraging, but here we are. So in the last episode, we had a few things happen. The main ones being that Hyuga is now free. He got knocked out though by the big dude, Maz. The petrification beam was dropped by Ibara because he got shot in the hand by the police officer. So the police officer currently has it, but Maz is no longer at all distracted by Hyuga. So he might be coming after them. And we see that the statue of the father has been reassembled. It's on the mainland, and they tried to show it to the people, but it was too far away. And then the rest of the crew that was on the boat have gotten onto the little ships, and they're trying to get away from the main ship. So a lot of chaos is happening right now. And honestly, we're kind of in the point where one little thing going left or right could change everything for the better or the worse. So I'm ready to jump in and see how we handle the situation. Just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Oh, did we just skip to the end? The end of the last one? Oh no, he just woke up again. Okay. Stop praising yourself and get out of there! Why is it always the dummies that end up with the important stuff? This man's sitting here fantasizing about dream scenarios when he should be swinging as far away from that boat as possible. Doesn't work like that, buddy. They throw it. She throws it for a reason. You would have petrified yourself if it actually went off. Yeah, if he's not even a little bit winded, unfortunately, you're done for. Yeah, this man can swim. You know that all these people can swim, right? Also, now he's in the water with the petrification beam. I'm not mad. I like seeing Hyuga actually on the run. He deserves it. You think so? I mean, you've been watching them for 2 years, bro. What happened to the marks on his face? Oh, right. He was revived. I keep forgetting. He was repetrified. I'm like, he used to have all the markings on his face. Why do we want lubricant? Oh, hello, Mecha Senku. It has. Okay. Great. What are we doing with the slippery shiny? They're like, oh. That looks sucky. An idiot. A raging idiot. The accuracy. Of a what now? Figure it out later. Is it? You sure? You always explain it to me. What are you doing? He's actually smart. Don't do that. You sitting there explaining all of this. This guy's smart enough. He will actually figure it out and imitate you. The human mind. Spirit? Heart? I only say more because this kid's still in his stupid only the strong must survive BS when he can't even beat this guy. This idiot's still in the water next to Ibara? Yep, good. You deserve all of it. I can't believe that idiot actually laughed about it. He deserved that. Mm-hmm.
2000 meter, 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, what is happening? That image, what? What did he grab?
その男を大嵐が持ってるぞメデューサだ
They don't know what Medusa is.
進む来た止めろ
Oh, you're just talking about your people. Okay. Does he have it though? Or did Homie just say that he had it so that he could get everybody to the center of the island and then actually send it?
なんだかわかんねえがともかく
No, I think y'all with your mullets just need to take a nap.
ミラクル
Damn, he wasn't joking. The boy's got some strength. Why didn't you trip his ass?
大
You
嵐
sure?
止められる人間なんて
We got magma.
ならばどうする今から概要には到底逃げられん考えろ
None of y'all have a
言
robe.
うてる手を
Just take his legs down, bro. He can't run if he doesn't have his legs.
同じスピードだぜ
Okay.
何かひらめいたらイエクラム
Yeah, quickly.
おや最低
He's so little. Yeah, don't. Taiju's no freaking joke. Strongest man, no one can do. Oh, okay.
だこいつのパワー
You know, he eats his meals, eats his veggies.
石化装置
すぐ遠くに投げ捨てなきゃ
It won't work at this point.
ブラ様が教えてくれたんだよ島の真ん中まで行きゃ
He lied.
石化回避するにはね島
That was cold of you, Ibarra.
急いで
Do you think it would continue? Okay, Disney villain. The falling. He's like, I'm gonna make sure I pose this time.
メデューサを打ち破れんのはシンクてめえだけだその科学の思考力でよ
島中みんな石化しちゃう
Oh, and she escaped the first time. Barely.
終わりだ二人とも
私とモズ君は危険すぎるカード石化が解かれることはないでしょう
が初の負けかよ
I mean, that's not too bad, I think. Pretty good
石
record.
化が解けることあったらさ
Let's be friends?
だっけか
No, I don't think you need to learn anything more.
その管やりとかいうやつ
構いませんよ
Oh, look at you finding a student, Sensei. He's like, I'm gonna make sure I got this pose. I'm gonna look cool in my statue this time. My god, poor dude. That's his third time. That viewpoint, though. All right, well, that's the end of the series, guys. It's been a fun watch. We'll resume, I guess. There's a season 4. Don't know what we're gonna be watching, but
もう笑っちゃうほど一人が
yeah, but you also lost the beat. Oh no, I guess he's just gonna smash the body and take it back.
ちゃん知ってるから妖術師の連中が復活
Where will you find it? And how will you make more?
まだ赤子だけども
百物語を継ぐために当主は代々
Oh, okay, it's genetic. Okay, sure, we'll go with that.
記憶力も素晴らしいぞ
So he has to die immediately. Oh, that wasn't his mother. Okay, she said shield maiden. Oh, she didn't make it. That's why I was wondering why he wasn't raised knowing who he was.
抜けなパパと一緒に仲良く石像として
Can you put your tongue back in your mouth? It's a little disgusting. No way his hand wouldn't still be bleeding.
妙じゃない石化光線から逃げながらこんなに進めるわけない
These shoes, though, I mean, my guy's got drag queens gagging with being able to walk in them shoes.
5メーター1セカンド
Recordings, baby.
俺ら仲良く最後の2人科学 VS メデューサの 大将戦と行こうじゃねえか。
Still here. All right. Well, guys, that is definitely going to be a battle of the wits because we've got Senku, who is very, very smart intellectually, but he's not cunning, right? And that's a good thing because he hasn't had any reason to think maliciously or to try to use his knowledge maliciously against anyone. So even though he's got a lot of plans and he can think about different things, different ways, like this whole trap of getting Ibara to come to the vehicle and, be ready for the record. Actually, it wasn't a recording. It turned out to be the phone. But he doesn't have the cunning, right? He's never thinking maliciously. He's never thinking of ways to get one over on people because he doesn't have time for that, right? Senku genuinely is just about the science and nothing but the science, so help him God. So this is the difference between him and Ibara. Ibara is not as genius smart, I would say, as Senku. Like, he doesn't probably have the same intellect numbers, but he's extremely cunning and he's very manipulative and he's very good at creating situations for his benefit, right? So he's crafty. It's a different type of smart. And what's more is that, as I said, he has the gift of wisdom. Like, even though Senku is technically older than him by thousands of years, Senku's only a teenager, right? Or actually not anymore, right? I think they never actually said how old everybody was when this thing kicked off, but I'm assuming that Senku and Taiju and all of them are probably sitting in the neighborhood of around 19, 20 years old at this point, maybe, because it's been like 3 years island time, 4 years island time, 3 years. So assuming Senku was 16, 17, he's like, technically an adult, but you get my point. Like, as you get older, you start to realize that there are things you just can't learn until you've experienced some life and, been around people and experienced the world. And even though Ibara has grown up on this island his whole life, it doesn't mean that he's dumb, right? It still is that's life experience. And clearly for him to figure out a way to sneak that petrification beam away from the last master and then come up with a plan to petrify him and then take over everything and mislead all these people for all these years into believing that the master was still alive. Like, all that to say, he's not a dummy, right? He actually is really good at planning. He's very good at coming up with schemes. And so it's going to be, like I said, a little bit of a battle of the wits where that's concerned, where we're going to have Senku, who's going to have to, think of ways to outsmart a man that does not think in the same way Senku does. Because like I said, Senku's never looking at how to hurt people. Whereas this guy, as we see, is willing to kill for what he wants. He doesn't think anything of human life. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how that particular face-off goes because, at this point in time, Senku's so far away from the petrification beam that he can't, if Ibara wants to grab it again, he can. But the downside now is that Ibara has nobody to set off the petrification beam without him being in range, right? We know that the shortest range is a meter. Yeah, the shortest range, so he can throw it at Senku. He can attempt to throw it at Senku, but if Senku outruns him, then he's risking throwing away the petrification beam, right? So anyway, they're going to be at somewhat of an impasse, but like I said, it is going to come down to a battle of the wits because Ibara is very crafty, and I think Senku knows not to underestimate him, but I also don't think that Senku can even begin to predict the way this man's mind's going to work. That is where having someone like Maz would be helpful because he's been around him long enough to probably see or think of where his mind might go. But yeah, that's kind of how we ended things. In the beginning of the episode, though, we see that it was a mad rush to try to, of course, subdue Maz so that he couldn't take out the group. But then we see that foolish cop, he just insisted on trying to take the glory for himself, and instead of taking the beam and swimming as far away from the ship as possible and trying to get the beam to the people he was supposed to, he instead tried to use it himself and sat there fantasizing about what it would be like to take all the glory. So unsurprisingly, Ibara finally recovered from his wound and took it back. But the good thing that came from that is that finally Yukio figured out that it's voice activated, right? But we never saw Kirisume utter a command, so I don't know if she did. Maybe she did, and they just made sure to make sure we didn't see it. But either way, he now knows that it does have commands for how long the duration of the beam is and the distance. So knowing that, he was able to at least get that info to Senku, and Senku was able to, again, we see, set that trap. But again, we don't know what that means and why it was set up that way. There's so many more questions that are opened up for this voice activation. How do people know about this, right? So anyway, but yeah, that's basically what happened. Like I said, not a lot really happened in this episode in the sense of, just between that battle and then them trying to, stop the man that they had them trying to stop the guy who had the petrification beam inside of him. That was pretty much the bulk of the episode. And of course, just showing once again that Ibara is very smart and very crafty and not an opponent to be at all underestimated going forward. So yeah, as we see now on the island, we We know that the boat still has the people that that Ibarra evacuated to them, but outside of that, the only two people now, from what we know, that survived this beam were Ibarra and Senku. So I feel like there's going to be negotiations that are going to happen, more likely, because Senku's not a fighter. We know that. And I don't get the sense that Ibarra is much of a fighter either. So it's going to be, like I said, a battle of the wits. Ibarra wants the revival fluid because he said, like, he didn't want to petrify everyone, and not because he cares about them, but because there are people he wants to keep around. And conversely, Senku obviously wants to get his people back, get them off the island, and do that without any interference from Ibarra. So they both have something that each other wants. It's just going to come down to who can make the better case, and also who can come up with enough of a guarantee that the deal will be held up. Because we know as an audience that Senku will honor whatever deal is made, but it's Ibarra we have to worry about. Ibarra is not going to want to play fair. He's going to want Senku to be his little slave and do whatever he wants for him, and he's going to want to keep the ship, and he's going to want to keep the... You get my point. He's not going to want to lose anything. He's clearly very greedy. So it's going to come down to what Senku can do to put Ibarra in a place where he is not in a position to not cooperate or to interfere with his plans in any way. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes with only a handful of episodes left. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. So that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.